Hey guys, Nightfall here, and today we don't have any fancy intro and we're not going to cover any more drama today. None of that. Instead, I'm just going to tell you and show you the best weapon build in XDefiant right now that no one else is using or will tell you about. This is my P90 build, and you can see now on the screen I have the build up, and I'll leave it up throughout the gameplay for anyone to copy and take a look at. I've had so many people ask me about my P90 build, and then they follow up and try to roast me for using the heavy barrel on it instead of the rapid fire barrel. So let me explain why I choose to use the heavy barrel instead of the rapid fire. To put it very simply and make it very easy for everyone to understand, without doing all kinds of complicated math, if you land one headshot on someone in the middle of a gunfight, your overall time to kill is way less with the heavy barrel over the rapid fire. It takes one less bullet. Not to mention, if you hit all headshots, it's only taken a few bullets and it takes about 0.3 seconds to kill them, so don't knock it until you try it. And a lot of people tell me the most times you won't ever hit a headshot. Well, I beg to differ. I end up hitting quite a few headshots, so in the game, the heavy barrel feels just worlds better to me than the rapid fire barrel, because I've tried this exact build and just swapped those out for one another, and the rapid fire barrel just makes it feel like it hits like a pea shooter. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the rest of the attachments and why I use each one. The barrel extender is actually a new addition to this build, and I used to have the muzzle booster on it, just trying to get some extra rate of fire because I wasn't using the rapid fire. But after some further testing in the firing range, I found the muzzle booster doesn't really change the time to kill all that much, and on average it was only about 0.02 seconds. So when you take that information and understand that the way I play, I use the P90 on every map, every game mode, doesn't matter what it is or where I am. And a lot of the times I end up taking long range battles that most people wouldn't even attempt with the P90. So I figured the best option here would be to add the barrel extender and just give it that extra oomph at range. And I can't really explain how much that has actually helped. Now, the super light grip gives me that extra ADS speed to really get the edge on those close gunfights, and it also adds some movement speed as well, which counterbalances another attachment that we'll talk about in just a moment. Yeah, I know this also lowers the recoil recovery, but let me explain something really quick. Recoil recovery in this game is broken. I and many others have already proven it doesn't even work, so any attachment that says it increases your recoil recovery, or makes it better, however you want to word that, you're being tricked and you should just find something better because it's not doing anything. And if it says it lowers your recoil recovery or makes it worse, just ignore it. So now let's go ahead and skip over the thing that people will attack this build for the most and just talk about the lightweight mag, and then we'll come back. For starters, I really don't understand why something that is lightweight is lowering your movement speed. But hey, that's the type of logic this game and its devs use. Sure, I understand that it's still adding a mag, so you're adding weight. I get all that. But if you're going to use that logic, then LMG mags that lower your bullet count should increase your movement speed, right? Because you're carrying less bullets, so you have less weight to carry around. But it doesn't. Anyway, the lightweight mag lowers my movement speed by the same amount the super light grip increases it, so those counteract one another. And then the reason I choose to use the lightweight mag on this build is because I tend to go on runs of 7 or more kill streaks, and without those extra mags, you'd easily run out of bullets on this gun. The 10% faster reload speed is just a bonus, honestly. And I've played with this build for a long time, which I'm sure the Prisma skin kind of gives that away, and I can't wait for more skins to come out so I can continue the P90 grind. And I really wish we had more individual weapon stats that would track how many kills you had with each weapon, so I could see just how many kills I have with this thing. But let's go ahead and circle back to the sight, which I know a lot of you are going to flame me for, and that's fine. The sight is completely optional on this gun and pretty much every other gun that you'll use in this game. They're just personal preference. They are and have been in this game and practically every other FPS game known to man. And I personally cannot do the red dot or the iron sights on this thing. But if you can, then awesome. That just means you free up a slot to make this build even better than it already is. And if that's the route you choose to take, I would highly recommend the leather wrapped rear grip to give you that extra movement speed. But I've tinkered with this build quite a bit over the last few weeks and dialed it in to how I play. So if you're watching this gameplay and you see that I play somewhat similar to you, maybe give this build a try, and also send me your builds in the comments or on Twitter, or if you're in my Discord, because my goal is to start a series on here where I review builds. This could be a build you use frequently or that you saw someone else using and you want to know why that combo of attachments. I'll take that build, throw it on my gun, break it all down in the firing range, and then test it out in a few games. And then in the end, I'll give that build a rank, which at that point, half of you in the comments can tell me how stupid I am for ranking it either that high or that low. It'll be fun times for sure. I really enjoy looking into different builds and finding the most combos on what's what. And while I know it's been a really long time since our last quality check video, don't you worry, I'm in the middle of editing a new one and that should be out tomorrow or Monday at the latest. So stay tuned for that. I'm also thinking about streaming tonight around 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if that's something you want to see me do, let me know in the comments and keep an eye out on my Twitter and the community tab here. And I'll post about an hour or so before if I'm going to go live. Other than that, this ended up being my highest kill game yet. And I'm kicking myself because I ended with 83 kills, which previously my highest kill game was only 69. Haha, funny, I know. But if you didn't realize, there were times throughout that I cut out where I wasn't even active and I was just sitting in spawn, not even on the game. I was doing something else on my other screen, and I probably costed myself about a whole extra minute or so of time, maybe even more, that I could have been actively in the mix and getting more kills. And I probably could have gotten 90 kills at least. And throughout playing most of this game, I didn't even feel like this was one of my best games until I looked at the scoreboard towards the end of the game and saw I already had over 70 kills. And it was at that point that I was like, yeah, I gotta lock in now. And I hate this map. And that just goes to show you that any game at any time can end up being your best game yet. So even if you start off slow, don't count yourself out. And for the rest of this video, you can see I start to go on a really good kill streak here. So we're just going to commentate here and I'm going to provide you with a couple tips on how to get higher kill games. So tip number one, you got to stay moving. You can't sit idly by and wait for people to come to you. Even though it's zone control and the point is to defend your zone, you can easily just go towards their spawn or just go around and try to get flanks on where you know they're coming from, like right here. And if they can't ever make it to the zone, then they can never capture the zone to begin with. So right there, you saw I saw somebody. I double checked to make sure nobody was in zone. And I thought he was going to come this way. Ends up he went the other way and probably went off to the right over there. And so now this guy tries to activate his ultimate. My teammates quickly take care of him. I block off that path with a grenade and then go for a flank as I try to reload my gun. And after that, I'll jump down here, hit this guy trying to flank back around, get this guy trying to come out of spawn and go to the zone, reload, swing back around here where most people come either from up top or down those steps. And then a little tip right there where you saw I activated my ultimate for dead sec, it actually gives you temporary wall hacks. As soon as you activate it, it puts lines right towards all of the enemy team. So it doesn't show you exactly where they are, but it shows you pretty much where they're at and what direction they're in. And then right here, my kill streak ends as I tried to pull off one of the stupidest combos. And punching really seems like it's flawed in this game right now, because it seems like if you punch someone and you land that hit, then it takes a crazy amount of time for you to recover and actually pull your gun back out and start shooting. But if you enjoyed the breakdown of my P90 build and the gameplay, be sure to leave a like on the video, because that really helps the channel out more than you could ever realize. And also don't forget to send me your builds if you want me to review it on the channel. Make sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss an upload, and I'll catch you in either tonight's stream or in the next upload.